Hey everyone, this is Adrian, and you're listening to the Unknown Games podcast. This is the bonus cast. That's right. We recorded me, myself, and a special guest, one of our listeners and friend of the show. You're going to hear him in just a little bit. But yeah, we're trying out a bonus cast. This is kind of a stopover until we're back to recording. Now, we recorded this about 2 weeks before Christmas, if I remember straight. But this is just an episode. It's a little fun. We got Guilty Gear. We've also got not Kingdom Hearts, but Final Fantasy Remake and Borderlands 3, like in the title. So it's a great show. I hope that you all enjoy it. And the most important thing of all, this was recorded in a coffee shop. So the audio is, well, like in a coffee shop. It's live, it's good, and I hope that I've engineered it a little right, but you may have to adjust your audio. Just heads up. So anyways, enjoy the show, and thanks for listening. All right. We are here. This is the Unknown Games Podcast, this isn't a numbered episode. It's a bonus episode because I'm at a coffee shop in the land of the United States, and I'm with a great friend because we really wanted to do this episode. We've been talking about it for a while. This is the bonus cast, episode number 2, because we did that one time. Anyways, yes. So here with me is Codara. I hope I said your name right. Codara.
It's Codara, but Codara works as well. So.
It's like the most awkward. This is the most awkward place we could do a podcast. We're not in a quiet room. We're in a coffee shop, a legit coffee shop, drinking coffee, and you probably hear coffee being made behind us.
Yeah. It's a good latte, though, I tell you.
We're either half sarcastic or actually serious. This is the best latte we've ever had.
I mean, for me it is.
It's a good latte.
Yeah.
It's a good latte. Mm-hmm. But so of course, this is the Unknown Games podcast. Even if it's the bonus edition, we still talk about video games. And Codara, man, it's going to be like this the entire time now. I'm self-conscious.
I mean, either one. I mean, it's cool, man. I've only known you for 7 years now. So it's,
I mess up people's names, episodes, everything. But yeah, so we're talking games, and we've got a good agenda because, he's a huge fighting game player, especially well-versed in the Guilty Gear.
The Guilty Gear.
The Blaze Blue.
Yeah, I used to play a lot of Blaze Blue back in the day.
Another name that I can mess up.
You always said Blaze Blue all the time, and I kept saying, Adrian, it's Blaze. So that Blaze Blue.
Every time, Blaze. Oh man, you see now I'm messed up. But so we got that, and he's also a huge RPG gamer. So huge. Man, so Alex, if you were here, you'd found your partner for your Persona.
Oh yes, I'm about that Persona life, man. 148 hours and still have not completed the game.
One day you got to complete the game.
I thought I did.
And it kept going?
It kept going. Past, you beat, I don't know if that's spoiler territory or not.
I mean, it's a bonus cast. No one's listening.
Oh, right. So, spoiler alert to the non-existent listeners out there. After you beat the final boss in Persona, the main villain,
yeah,
you think the credits are going to roll, you're going to kiss the girl and go home and everything's going to be great, right?
Right.
No, wait. There's an unresolved story. We have to go to the bottom of Mementos.
Oh, man.
Oh, you forgot about Mementos. You're nowhere near the bottom of Mementos.
Oh, man.
You probably got another 20 hours to go.
20 hours? So, I remember Alex talking about this. He said it the exact same way. You get to what you think is the final boss, and it's just the halfway point. I'm sorry. You still got to keep going. But the question now is, are you going to... After you finish Persona 5, are you going to play Royal in March?
No, I'm not. So if I finish Persona 5, I mean, Persona 5 to me is sort of the, pun not intended, personification of...
See, I thought you were about to say the never-ending story.
No, it's the personification of too much of a good thing. Like we've been waiting on this game for forever, and then you
Yeah.
finally get it, and you're loving it, and you're loving it, and you're loving it. But then after hour 110, you're like, okay, we kind of need to get to the finish line.
I mean, there's something to be said about a game that it's obviously it's done in really good quality, but has so much content that you can choose either to do it all or not to do it all. But when it's such a good game, you feel compelled to do it all,
Well,
right?
okay, so it's like this. I'm old man gaming now. You know, time is so time is much more of a premium in my life now. I'm 32 years old, and I don't have time to do it all, Adrian. Like, there's so many games. You know, there's so many games. There's so many games to play.
So many games.
And that backlog just keeps getting bigger.
It keeps getting bigger. That's why I stopped buying games. Literally, I stopped, and then I had the genius idea to, hey, I can stream games. And what is really good, I will say, and I think you stream a little bit as well. We didn't even do like an introduction for you.
I meant to mention that, like,
we just got
people don't know
to it.
who is this voice. This
voice. But yeah, actually, let's just do an introduction.
Let's do it.
Just tell me a little about yourself. What do you do, and I don't know why you're here.
Well, the first thing is, I'm probably, someone who's not qualified to be on this podcast. No.
I'm not qualified.
No. I am. I guess I could say I'm Adrian's friend.
Yeah.
I've known Adrian since college. We met in college.
We met in college.
And we did. We met in college. We did the ABXY game nights. We hung out and just talked about games after those game nights. We just kicked it on a personal level. We won't go. Well, that sound. Cut that out. Cut that out.
Just cut that out.
Let's cut it out. So yeah, we.
That sounds so shady, and it wasn't even.
I didn't even mean
shady.
I didn't even mean to make it sound
so
like
let
that.
me clarify what actually he meant to say. So ABXY was this gaming club that I founded in college, where we literally wanted to promote video games in all different forms, board games, of course, and card games, and of course video games on a console. Television games. So we would get together, and the school sponsored this. We would get together every Friday during the home games for, University of Alabama. I think the organization is still around, which is really cool. But we would just hook up like 6 or 7 PlayStation 3s, Wii's, just so much. And we had 50 people who would come out every night that we held these events. Free Jimmy John's, subs and pizza. It was just a lot of fun. And after that, we would have this staff meeting kind of thing. And so he's talking about afterwards, when everyone else has gone home, the staff would just get together, kick it, and play more games.
Yeah.
So the games never stopped.
And mainly talk about games. See, those were the best parts with our other friends.
Yeah.
We would sit out there in the school courtyard and talk about games and talk about Dark Adrian and all that other stuff.
There's a whole entire
backstory with that.
There's an entire myth and legend of Dark Adrian that maybe one day on the actual, I don't know, on the podcast we'll go into. I don't know, but maybe it is a bonus. Maybe it's just for the bonus cast. Dark Adrian.
Yeah, Dark Adrian returns.
Yeah, Alex knows about Dark Adrian.
Oh man. I'm surprised he survived. Me and Adrian have known each other for a while. I kicked it with him in Japan for a little bit on the trips I took over there. And I'm not based in Japan like these two fellows. I'm over here in the good old USA.
US of A.
Working hard, doing that grind and everything, and playing a bunch of games and watching a bunch of streams and just doing the thing, and that's it. And I'm just a guy. Like the rest of you, just a guy or a girl. I'm not a girl, but girls that are out there listening.
It's like
just a person.
Just a person. But yeah, he's a really nice person, and like I said, we've been friends for a good bit of time now. And so we're gonna move into the show, and we're gonna talk about some games. So first up, Guilty Gear Strive. I know that both you and I. Okay.
Wait,
what?
I'm sorry.
Oh no, you good.
I didn't mean to interrupt you. Before we get into Strive, I gotta finish my thought about Persona.
Oh yeah, we
were talking about Persona.
We were talking about Persona.
So,
record screech, halt.
So stop.
Come back. Okay, so back to Persona.
So Persona, and it wasn't with Persona. It wasn't that I didn't even feel like I was trying to do everything.
Yeah.
The game is just that long. Like it's just that much of a grind. Like I took I said I'm going to beat Persona, and I grinded it out for 3 weeks straight. and then I beat the last boss, and then they told me that wasn't the end, and I was like, but I tried.
But I did it. I mean, okay, so like, I guess you're taking a break from it, and then you're gonna come back. Now,
Yes.
I think Alex was telling me about like Persona Scramble.
Yeah, so it's like this Dynasty Warriors take on Persona. I love Dynasty Warriors too, so
No, I mean Dynasty Warriors has gotten legit.
it is.
I
Yeah.
used to think it was just hack and slash, and then they added so many more elements to it over the years. Like by the time you get from like Dynasty Warriors 4 to 7,
Yeah.
it's like the world changed.
Yeah. Have you played the Zelda version, the Hyrule Warriors?
The Hyrule, no, I've heard that they did a really good job on that and the Dragon Quest version.
Yeah. Hyrule Warriors is fun. So I think I'm excited about Scramble. So I probably will finish Scramble before I finish Persona 5.
You probably definitely will. Wait, I don't know. You might have to finish 5 first because it's a sequel.
I mean,
It's direct canon, man.
at this point, I know the end of the story. I mean, like, we can go into that. But anyway,
So watching him shake his head like, man, I can't look. It's a game too long.
we got YouTube and Reddit for getting those final details.
Wiki, YouTube, Reddit. We don't have to actually play the games these days. Friend of the show, Rivard, doesn't play the games.
Oh well.
I mean, sometimes he does, but sometimes he'll just watch a streamer. I think that's.
I think that's a valid way of enjoying games these days. There's a bunch of games that I will watch one of my favorite streamers play now instead of play because, like I said, I have it on the background while I'm cleaning or doing something. Because, like I said, I just don't have time to play everything like I used to. As,
Yeah, I mean,
I guess it's part of growing up, right? So
man, this got heavy. Heavy. It's growing up is an experience.
it sucks.
Until you find your way, it can be a little rough. But once you do, it's okay. It's all wonderful.
Yeah.
I'm gonna combine all the podcast titles. It's all sugar and rainbows, and eventually you'll get to the point where it's 2 girls and 1 bike.
I have no words for that.
There's no words to the beginning of a new thing. But anyways, we're going back to Guilty Gear Strive because, so I remember Tokyo Game Show, so this is what, 2019, September sometime, the trailer drops, and I can't remember if there was a trailer at EVO.
I can't remember either.
No, there was a trailer at EVO.
The first trailer,
But it wasn't full. It was just like a kind of teaser.
Yeah.
Because we had, the black guy at the end looking all clean, and we ain't seen him since.
Yeah, he was looking
We
clean.
ain't
I was
seen
like,
him
who is this
since.
brother? He looked.
I was like, how come, man, you got a new mask or something, bro? Like, what's happening? Like, what's going down here?
Yeah.
But yeah, so that coffee made. So after that trailer dropped for TGS, and that music, Smell of the Game, man.
Yeah, Smell of the Game.
Whew.
Wow.
I listened to that on loop on YouTube.
Yes.
Just looking at the trailer, and it was just floored by how gorgeous the game looked.
Yes.
The camera angles, the cinematic approach that they were taking. And I'm thinking, this looks like Guilty Gear, right? Like
Yeah.
I'm thinking it's going to be mainstream Guilty Gear.
Right.
And then lo and behold, we get some more character reveals, which all the animation looks amazing. So we get to find out that this may or may not be our Guilty Gear. For some people.
Yeah. That's the humdrum that's going around the internet right now. But first, I want to say something about Smell of the Game, man. That thing is hype.
Do you know the smell of the game?
Do you know the smell of the game? Like that song has captivated all of the Guilty Gear fans. Like it just gives you chills. Like especially if anybody's seen that video.
The Arc Evo?
Yeah, the Arc Revo video, man, where like the audience is singing along. I watched
chanting
that
it?
like 20 times because it was just so. It was like this is it. This is what the fandom is. This is what it's all about, man. Like I wish I could have been in that room, but
I mean, honestly, like I don't know if so you can actually purchase the song on iTunes or you can listen to it on Spotify. I do encourage you to look up the lyrics because the lyrics, boy, I mean, it's literally about like maybe it's about the game itself. It's do you know who you are?
Yeah.
And one voice is telling you who you are, like, but you know who you are. There's another voice saying like this is who you are, and like maybe that's the identity of this game. Like people are trying to say like, oh man, this is Guilty Gear, but no, this is Guilty Gear.
Yeah.
I just went deep on that.
You did.
I didn't even.
That is bullshit blazing. Now my heart is blazing.
Dude, how many times in that song did you think that blazing was actually like crazy or
I thought it was bullshit crazy before I saw
thought
the
it was
lyrics.
bullshit crazy, but it's like, no,
Yeah.
bullshit blazing. It's just blazing. But anyways, continue. You were the Guilty Gear expert on this.
I don't know if I say expert. I would say, you know, connoisseur. I'm a big fan of the game, and
Yeah, we're making coffee. Making
Yeah.
coffee. Ain't no
you want me to
GTA
wait
3.
or just keep talking?
Oh, we'll wait it out. We'll wait it out. We'll
Okay.
put like some music on.
You can edit this part out,
I totally can, but that just it kills the illusion that we're in a coffee.
Oh, okay.
Cafe, you know?
Well, we'll leave it. Keep it rolling then.
Oh, there we go. There we go. See.
All right.
Coffee made.
So yeah, I should have kept talking. I guess. What kind of production we running here now? Yeah. So really big fan of Guilty Gear. Started playing like back in X2 the Midnight Carnival. Love that game. Like the metal aesthetic and everything about it. Like that's around the time I was really getting into metal music. Love metal music. So like characters, the everything, the fighting system, everything's great. Love it. Kai's my favorite guy ever. So Strive, the thing that has people, upset with Strive is that there are some key changes. We won't get into super uber detail, but we kind of go over, some of the big changes. Like there's a change to what's called the Gatling system. So the Gatling system is basically the combo system of the game. How you
Right.
perform combos in the game. What moves link into other moves.
Because like you can't do, is it light, medium, strong into a combo anymore or something like
Yeah,
that? Like,
basically.
The simple bread and butter of any art system
Yes.
game is gone.
Yes. So that particular system is the art system work system. Light and strong into heavy.
Yeah.
Or it turns a Guilty Gear light into slash and heavy slash. So they have a bunch of people, and I want to preface this as well with like I have not played the game,
I haven't played it either.
and Adrian has not played
We
the
have
game.
not played the
so
game.
this is not pure speculation, but educated, observations of streamers who have played the game, tournament players who played the game. I watched a few people, break down, their, impressions of the game. So this is just regurgitating basically that information.
Yeah.
There seems to be a big emphasis on resetting players back to neutral. So if you perform certain moves or certain combos in neutral, not in neutral, but like say mid-screen, I'm sorry, not neutral, mid-screen, like it will like knock the person away from you. Like whereas before it would knock the person down or give you like OTG.
You could give like an OTG or
yeah,
Oki kind of
yeah,
situation.
yeah.
But now it's kind of like, I don't know, because like, would you say that kind of emphasizes more of a footsie game?
I would say so. I would think so. Like neutral seems to be like reset, and I think that they want to reset people back to neutral to encourage new players, not to get frustrated. Because
Okay.
the next part of this leads me to believe that because when you take somebody to the corner,
Yeah.
you get a wall break and you do a stage transition,
Mm-hmm.
and then you reset back to neutral.
Which is kind of weird. Like,
Yeah,
it looks weird
it
every
looks
time
weird.
I've seen it. It's because they get up real.
They
fast.
get it real fast. Like
It's
there's it's just like stage transition back to neutral. Like
Because
there's no
there's
wait, no
there's
animation.
There's no animation wait or anything.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I'm back up. Because like the thing is like even in Tekken, when you do a stage transition, you do it to keep the pressure and the combo going. But in this case, like you said, resetting to neutral means that you are actually you lose the pressure.
Yeah.
After every combo, essentially, you're losing pressure.
Yeah. Yeah, you're losing that pressure and you're resetting things back to neutral. So I'm assuming that they want to try, because nobody likes to be stuck in a corner getting comboed all day, getting hands put on you. Like nobody.
No, can't press no buttons. Don't press them buttons.
You feel like you don't get a chance to play the game. Because because you're a new player, you don't understand spacing, you don't understand the neutral, you don't understand footsie, you don't understand how to not get in that situation to be in the corner.
Right.
And you find it hard to find out how to find that out because you constantly are in the corner, right? So
Right.
I think that's like a newbie friendly, not noob is a negative word in 2019. So newbie friendly way of making your game approachable for new people. On the flip side of that, and I guess that what has people kind of like from first glance like upset, like, oh man, wow, resetting back to neutral, I lose my corner pressure. Like, I worked hard for this corner
You lose
pressure.
like some of the mix-up that makes,
Right.
When you watch the game, you're trying to guess what the other person is going to do. Are they going to block up?
Mm-hmm.
Are they going to go overhead? Are they going to go, medium or low? Like, what's coming next? But no pressure there. It's just
Stage transition.
just reset.
But some people I was listening to kind of pointed out some things that you don't have to take the stage transition. You don't have to take the transition. Mm-hmm. You can let them fall off the wall, and that's your mix up right there. Okay. So you let them fall off the wall. Now they have to deal with whatever you're throwing out.
Oh, okay.
So that's like your OTG setup basically in the corner. But and I forgot what advantage you get when you take the stage transition. I think you get like a meter advantage or something.
Meter advantage or something?
Yeah. And so if you don't want to take that meter advantage, then you could just take the mix up in the corner. You could just keep mixing them up, I guess, in the corner.
I'm guessing that's going to be kind of the way people
probably
want to play, except for, like people who really like that kind of thematic stage transition. And just, overall it looks pretty hype. And I remember watching Maximilian break the game down, and he was saying there's something about the, you're going to have to help me out on this, when this kind of clock comes up on the screen. It's not a clock, but just like,
Yeah. So the Roman Council.
The Roman Council.
They changed that as well. So in XR, Guilty Gear XR, the last game that came out, you had yellow Roman councils and you had the regular red Roman councils, and you also had a purple one. But we won't go into deep details. It's already complicated.
That's already
right?
complicated. That's already complicated.
But the yellow Roman council costs 25 meter, whereas the regular Roman council costs 50 meter.
Okay.
So they got rid of that. So Roman councils just cost 50 meter now.
So it's just a Roman
50
council.
meter. Yeah.
Okay.
Just a Roman council, and also it slows down time for like a few seconds.
Yeah.
So you're able to do moves that normally would not combo together, or do moves easier than you normally would
be able to.
And also you can use the Roman council defensively. So if you're blocking and you Roman council, it would slow down the attacker, which I don't know how I feel about that myself personally. So.
Yeah, it's a little weird because, I remember him showing it, and it looked really cool, like the effect that it gives when you successfully do it. But if you miss the window, you're just kind of left, I guess, like you failed. But I guess where you failed. That's a good thing because it's very visual right now, the way that the UI is being shown. Yeah,
and I mean, like, with Roman canceling, back in the day, back in the old school Guilty Gear, I mean, it didn't slow down time. You Roman cancel, and you have to get your move out. Now that helps new players too, because instead of like bam, 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 Roman cancel, bam, 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 you have like a second to actually connect.
Input something and think.
Now you have, I guess, roughly 2.5 seconds or 2 seconds or however long the slowdown is. So I think that's the idea there. The defensive use of it, though, I have to get my hands on the game to know how I feel about that, because I would hate to be pressuring somebody. It's another way to get people off of you. It makes it easier for a new person. They don't have to use the
burst
the burst. You have the burst defensive option. Then you have dead angle.
Dead angle. We've already gotten into like some weird terminology.
I'm sorry. So
dead angle.
So there's like there's like a I can't remember the term for it, but anyway, like there's a way where you press forward while you're blocking, and it'll kind of like do a get off me kind of attack.
Okay. Yeah. So like
is it like an alpha counter?
Push it's like a push block almost.
Sort of, but it's like
even more.
Yeah, it's like you actually push, like you do like a punch that's invulnerable, and the person flies off. They don't take any damage. It costs 50 meter to do, and I forgot the name of the attack. So.
It's all good. It's all good.
Yeah.
I'm like running through my mind like, V reversal in Street Fighter.
It's sort of like a V reversal, sort of.
But more,
Yeah, and those were options that were always in the game, but a little bit harder to time if you're a new person. So you can say, hey, I can hit this Roman cancel, and I can slow Adrian down in the middle of his pressure, and I can punish him. So there's that. There's another change. See, this is so Guilty Gear. Guilty Gear is known as one of the most complicated fighters.
Yeah.
And so they're trying to make it more accessible.
Take out some of the the craziness.
Yeah, because if you never heard of Guilty Gear, never played Guilty Gear, just probably listening to me try to explain it.
Like, I'm wondering how far we are on the list right now. It's like, I mean, like, 'cause the stuff that you've been talking about is, I mean, I feel like there are pretty major changes to the core mechanics, and anymore it's just like, are you sacrificing Guilty Gear, or like, you know, what makes Guilty Gear Guilty Gear?
Yeah.
Or is the game still going to be, you know, the same? It's kind of hard to say because it comes out next, you know, end of 2020 is what they're saying.
Yeah. And I mean, Daisuke is the creator of Guilty Gear. Daisuke Ishiwatari.
Yeah.
This man does everything. Like he created the game. He does character art. He does the voice of So Bad Guy. This man does he writes the music. He plays guitar. Yep. I think he sweeps the floors. I mean, he just does everything.
Now I want to go back to Japan and then just go to the studio, knock on the door, and see who's sweeping the floor. He probably does sweep the floor. He probably does.
And writes in the middle of writing this new Smell the Game song. But
the smell of the game.
But he said
what happened in the toilet, man.
Oh my god. But Daisuke said in an interview that he wanted to, make it more of a fair base game for everybody, because players would come in who had played Guilty Gear, or even if you played Blaze Blue, because Blaze Blue has a lot of Guilty Gear mechanics, like the combo system and the barrier blocking and the roaming canceling and all that. So if you play either Blaze Blue or Guilty Gear and you're coming into this, you have past knowledge that you're bringing into the game.
Right.
So you have an advantage over a new player who never played either one of those games. So he said he wants to try to make this a new base,
kind of neutral. Because and when you break the mechanics and while keeping some the same, it's kind of like these, like you were saying, players who have played before. So like if I played like Street Fighter, right? Like if you played Ryu in Street Fighter 2 and you're playing Ryu in Street Fighter 5, you're still going to kind of like know how to play Ryu. You're still going to know the motions and the style. Mm-hmm. But now with Guilty Gear Strive, it's a little bit different,
Yeah.
And so you're going to come in as a Guilty Gear player but not be able to completely do everything you used to do.
Right.
So it's broken.
Right.
Almost like Soul Calibur 4. Oh man, I remember that.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. That's totally right. I mean, you're gonna have to relearn, long time established Guilty Gear fundamentals, But I mean, it looks like Guilty Gear. People that have played it say it feels like Guilty Gear in spurts and spots. It really feels like Guilty Gear. Like, it's fast. You're doing crazy moves and everything. It looks great. But things are different, But different doesn't mean bad.
Yeah.
And that's what I think people kind of need to try to,
accept.
And at least wait till they get their hands on the game before they say, "Oh, well, no, it's not my Guilty Gear." Let's wait till the game comes out, people, and then let's play it. I'm personally excited. I didn't play Xrd very much, so I'm really excited to get back into Guilty Gear. I kind of stopped. I fell off playing any fighting games, really.
Well, like you said, like when you get older.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people don't understand this about fighting games, or maybe some people do, but fighting games require practice.
Yes.
They require time, and they require you just really learning the ins and outs of something. I mean, you really, just like people play battle royales.
Yeah.
I think it's even more of on a deeper level, and it's why fighting games as an esports, I don't think succeed as much, because it's a hard barrier.
Yeah.
People can do it, but if you don't have the skills to execute it, it's hard.
Yeah, it is. It really is.
And so, wow, we talked about that.
Yeah, we talked about that perhaps a bit too long. I can talk about Guilty Gear all day, but I know you probably want to move on to another topic.
We're gonna move on to. I know you wanted to talk about Final Fantasy VII Remake. The biggest game of next year. I mean, it's one of the biggest games. We have, Final Fantasy VII, and Cyberpunk. There's one other game I'm forgetting now.
So Cyberpunk and Final Fantasy.
Last of Us 2.
Oh yeah, I forgot that was even coming out.
I gotta talk about my boy Joel. Anyways, yeah, Final Fantasy 7.
Hope he's alive.
Oh, he's in the trailer. It's all good.
Oh, he was in the trailer?
He's in the trailer.
Oh, I didn't see the new one. Okay.
Oh, well, you just either spoiled it for yourself or I spoiled it for you.
You spoiled it for me, yeah.
But yeah, so it's, Final Fantasy 7 Remake, and we talked about this, me and Alex, today actually, earlier when we were filming. We had our guest on the show, and, Dishu Halal was really happy. She goes and she plays this game every year, Final Fantasy 7. Yeah. She's one of those players. Are you one of those players?
I definitely. I haven't played it, yearly, but I'm one of those Final Fantasy changed my gaming life kind of players. I was telling you earlier when we were talking. I have the game in a display case. My original 1997 copy of Final Fantasy 7 in the display case with my PlayStation. In Final Fantasy 8 and 9.
Like it's the most prize coveted thing in the world. It's not even rare, man. It's not rare.
I know it's not that it's rare. It's just the significance of it. I mean, I have so that people think I'm not insane. I have 2 display cases with all my games from my childhood and my favorite games in those cases because I had these games sitting in a box and I'm like, I need to do something with these things. So I bought some display cases and they look pretty cool, I have to say.
You got it in style. Rep it in style.
Yeah, repping in style. So it's one of my favorite games ever. One of the first RPGs I played. One of the first games that I got invested in. And it came about around the perfect time when I was that age where I could appreciate a game for more than just colors and stuff.
We talked about that too. It was a similar thing for me with Final Fantasy X.
Yeah.
Because I didn't play 7 until after 10. I went back and played it one summer, but if I had played that when I was 10 or younger, I wouldn't have been able to understand the story. It was already hard enough to understand.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't be able to appreciate a lot of the things that the game has.
Yeah, I played it when I was 10, and so.
Well, you were above and beyond me.
I was a very learned child when I was 10. I used to love to read, so I said, there's a game I can read a lot. Well, sign me up.
It was the opposite of me. I never read it. It was like me reading? Nah. Read books, kids. Books are great. I'm actually serious about this. It's one of the regrets that I have in life is that I didn't read enough as a child. So make sure you read.
Yep.
Parents, tell your kids to read. Make them read. Strap the book to their face.
The More You Know, featuring Adrian.
There you go. So back on Final Fantasy 7.
Yes. We seem to keep getting off track here. So yeah, what about Final Fantasy 7, Adrian?
So we were talking earlier, and you said you had a bone. Well, no, not a bone. You were saying that I'm hyped for it, but I don't think anyone else has said but when it comes to this.
I am cautiously optimistic about it. Okay, and I wasn't even optimistic. I want to say I want to not be hyped about it because I don't want to be disappointed. I'm not hyped about it. I got a little bit excited about it when I saw the latest trailers that they had, gameplay trailers.
Yeah.
And especially the one where they're in the Mako reactor and Cloud and Barrett are having the banter between each other.
In the 30-minute boss battle.
Yeah, in the 30-minute first boss fight. But the dialogue was really nice and the game looks good and I'm the battle system's whatever. I mean, it looks like it'll be fun and it won't be annoying and it won't be crazy, but the thing is, I just wonder why does Square Enix seem so ashamed or so self-conscious about making a turn-based system in the modern era when it has been proven by other game series to be successful. Pokemon is one of the biggest game franchises on the planet, has a turn-based system. Persona 5 sold more copies than any other Persona game ever has a turn-based system. I think the Square wants to be like a Western developer. It wants to be known as an action kind of hip, cool game. But to me, at best, Squaresoft makes mediocre action systems at best. If I wanted to play a good action game, I'd play Devil May Cry. That's how I kind of feel about it. I kind of feel that they need, I'm not even saying that they need to have a Pokemon turn-based system, But give us a hybrid system. Like, look at something like Grandia, something like where, like
one of the older kind of action, you're still...
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
I kind of can... I see where you're coming from a little bit. And, I think you pointed this out off the show, but ever since 13, they've been very much on an action-oriented kind of grind.
And that was a great battle system.
That was a great battle system.
I would take something like that.
And it was technically turn-based.
Yes, it was.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Hybrids. Yeah. I'm sorry for jumping in.
Oh, no. I mean, they're definitely trying to go more action-oriented these days. But, so Square Enix does make good turn-based games, but they always stick them in sprite-based games.
Mm-hmm.
Anything that's come out, of course, except for barring Dragon Quest, which technically even the newest Dragon Quest does have sprite mode, but we saw Octopath Traveler.
Yeah.
And that's turn-based,
yeah.
And people love that game. All their mobile games are turn-based. Brave Exvius. I hope I said that, which...
I don't know, though.
Sorry, it's big in Japan, but it takes all of the Final Fantasy characters and puts them in one universe. But it's turn-based, sprite. And then after that, of course, we had Bravely Default Flying Fairy. I hope I said that right.
Yeah, I think
those games are they're based on older Final Fantasy titles.
Right.
So they do this often, but it's always on a Nintendo console.
Yeah.
I mean, it's always on a mobile platform for the most part, but on their major platforms, PlayStation 5.
Mm-hmm.
I keep talking about PS5 these days.
Yeah.
PS4.
Adrian is from the future.
But for PS4, of course, we had Final Fantasy 15 and Kingdom Hearts, and I don't know what else, like RPGs from Square. They make one every blue moon, but for the major consoles, I'm trying not to say the Switch is not a major console. The Switch is a major console, so I'm messing up here.
I can hear the typing going now, and the angry
people are like,
angry
what's
comments.
wrong with him? But no, I mean, I think that they do a good job at the action combat as well, but maybe it's just not everything around it that works as well as it used to. Maybe the stories aren't as good, or maybe the side quests that they can put into the game. The extra stuff that really helped you feel like, man, Final Fantasy 7 or these older games that they made had a lot of love and care put into them.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what's missing.
Yeah, that's definitely what's missing, and I think that ties into the perspective of trying to be an action game. Because if you're trying to be an action game, you're trying to engage the player constantly. Like, you're not trying to have that slow pace. Whereas when you have a traditional turn-based system, the player is already trained to have a slow pace, like from the beginning. Like, they know that, okay, I'm going to be playing this game, and it's not going to be 100 miles a minute. Whereas you play Devil May Cry, for instance, you're not stopping and getting 30-minute cutscenes, right?
So and like, I think the thing is that they did add, or they said they've added, and we've seen it in the gameplay, that they've added kind of turn-based mode. It's not completely turn-based, but you can stop. And I mean, like, if you want to go back, I don't think it's as deep as possibly, but there was Knights of the Old Republic.
Yeah, nice.
That you could play. Turn-based, and then but it was straight up like, okay, I'm playing action, and then now I'm straight up just pause. I'm playing completely turn-based. Whereas this is a kind of hybrid.
It's a hybrid,
where the clock is ticking very slowly, as far as we know, or that we've seen. So you can kind of still have your turn-based, but you're not in that format, that turn-based format where you can see everything. The screen's grayed out a little bit.
Yeah.
And it's all slow-mo.
Yeah, and just, to kind of clear it up, I mean, I'm not trying to say that I think this combat looks bad. I think this combat looks fun, and, like, I think it's a happy medium for me, because I was concerned about the combat. I thought it was going to be like Kingdom Hearts, and I was like, oh, God, please.
Jumping off walls.
Please don't be like but it seems to be a happy medium for me, but I just wonder, I just have this wonder why Square seems self-conscious about putting a more traditional system in their flagship game. Yeah.
That's a good That's very valid, and I like it. Like I said, I can only think of examples on mobile platforms.
Yeah.
Because like the only other thing, like Dissidia.
Yeah.
Dissidia is completely action based too. I mean, it's 100% action based.
Yes, 100%.
And we also know that Remake is only going to cover Midgard, which they're hoping to give us a lot of quests, and it's supposed to be 30 to 40 hours. So it's an full RPG.
Yeah.
But how much longer does it take till we get to the halfway point of the game?
That's
we ain't even in that. This is the opening part of the game.
So that's the thing that has me concerned the most is we only have Midgard, and it's supposed to be, I guess, a 30, 40-hour game experience here. It's part one. But Midgard in the original game is maybe like 10%, if that, of the actual
it's
original
very quick.
game. Yeah, it's only
You're
the
in and
opening.
out.
It's the opening act, basically, of the game. And I'm like, we're going to stretch that out to 30, 40 hours. What are part 2 and 3 going to look like? And Kitase in an interview said, like, he doesn't even know how many parts they're going to be.
Yeah, they don't, because I remember they maybe said a while back originally, like maybe 3 parts, but obviously we're not anywhere near 3. And we know like there's some new kind of story elements to it. Some kind of remix things, some new characters that are in there. I just started playing Final Fantasy VII Crisis Core, and I think that so far I'm only like an hour in, but I think if they can do Remake with this, and they're going to do the same production value, because I'm like super impressed by the production value on Crisis Core. They're cutting up a sheep back there. I'm sorry. The coffee shop, cutting up a sheep. So I feel like with 7, they always take the most care, except for Dirge or Cerberus, to do the best that they can. And I think that it's gonna. I'm optimistic. I think it's gonna be a great game.
Yeah.
I'm just worried. For me personally, I'm just worried. Like, when is it gonna be complete?
Yes.
This is like, am I gonna be 50 when this is done?
Yes. And then on top of that, what is the pricing structure looking like? If these are $60 a pop, are we gonna be paying $180?
You know it's 60 a pop.
But so we have to play. If there's
Full
3
game.
parts, we pay $180 to play this game.
You're gonna end up paying a lot for your love of Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah. So I guess so, man.
Get your Cloud motorcycle
Yeah.
bikes and Tifa. I don't know. Tifa.
I don't. I was gonna say something, but so I had to put a Phoenix down on my wallet because
You're gonna Phoenix down the wild, man.
Yeah.
It's good. I don't know. So I think we're gonna find out next year, March
3rd, right? Yeah,
3rd,
March
13th,
3rd.
3rd, somewhere in that area. Same time, Persona 5 Royale is coming out, but that's 2 different.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry. You're not going back to that.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm not going back.
It's like an abusive relationship.
I know, right? It's like
I'm not going back to that.
before I married Persona, he was great. You know?
Oh man, so I want like a skit just like that. Before I married Persona, he was great, but then things went south.
As the hours crossed over 100, things started to go
Go
south.
But it's been a great podcast. We're gonna wrap it up. But do you have anything else? I mean, if you have, so we can keep going. We're only at the 45-minute mark.
I mean, hold on. I can keep. I mean, I'm good, man. I can keep going if you have any more topics to talk about. I
Oh
mean,
my god, I'm fresh out.
fresh out.
Actually, I didn't come in with any. That's my
Oh,
fault.
okay.
This is what I do to Alex all the time. Alex, what do you have? Hear me saying those words. So, Alex, what do you have? What are you playing? What's in the news?
I've been playing Borderlands 3 a lot.
Oh yeah, we didn't talk about what we've been playing. I just said I've been playing Crisis Core, but yeah, you've been playing. Okay, so Borderlands 3, how's it?
Borderlands 3 is great from a gunplay wise standpoint. I think that it is better than 2. From a story standpoint, is worse than 2. From the characters, like the characters' abilities and everything, better than 2. The stability of the game is trash. That is really bothering me because I love this game. I love this game.
Like offline or
Like online, like
Okay, online.
It just glitches in general. Like this thing is like Fallout
Oh man, that's kind of
not Fallout 76, but like
okay.
Fallout New Vegas.
Just normal Fallout.
Yeah, like normal Fallout.
They
like,
need a patch.
Yeah. So it's hindering my enjoyment of the game because the game is amazing. I love the game, it's super fun. But you piss these glitches that are just like, I can't turn this on until they fix this, and then they fix it and they break 3 other things.
Oh man, because like I played Borderlands 2 4 times.
Yeah.
I played on every difficulty, and I loved that game. Friend of the show, Revara, we played that with a couple other friends, and I think I have a copy of Borderlands 3 coming in sometime, maybe New Year's, depending.
Yeah. Okay.
Friend of the show, Anthony, hook me up.
No doubt.
It's like all the friends of the show combined.
Yeah.
But I'm like looking forward to playing it. But so these glitches, they're not game breaking, but they just occur so often that they just make you want to stop. Or
I mean, it's nothing makes the game unplayable. It's just there's so many small annoyances that they add up to become big problems
over time.
And certain characters' skills don't proc at certain times, or they glitched, or they don't work as they're intended. And so you never know what's working and what's not, because stuff is constantly getting fixed from that standpoint. And you have to keep up with the forums and know what's actually active.
Because like the DLC is coming out next, like pretty relatively soon.
On the 19th, yeah.
And I know people were saying like, how does this work how will this character work within the game? I think, or how the skills will work.
Yeah. Right now, these skills. After you reach max level, there are additional skills called Guardian rank skills, and they're basically like perks for people that reach max level, and you keep leveling up and getting more and more perks. None of these perks work now after the last patch. So that kind of stuff, like you get used to, the Guardian rank skills are very useful, and so now we have this additional in-game content that's the hardest content in Borderlands. It's called the Maliwan Takedown.
Yeah.
And on Mayhem 4, it's Mayhem levels.
Yeah.
So Mayhem 4 is really difficult, and like those
your skills don't work at all.
Those Guardian rank skills don't work. But it's when they made this content, they made it and balanced it for players having those Guardian ranks. So like you kind of like handicap. I mean, it's still playable. I beat it one time, but it's just annoying because when something happened, like I'm like, if I had this skill, this would be less annoying. But it's not like a huge deal.
Okay.
Yeah, it doesn't break the game, but it just makes it more annoying knowing that it's not working.
It's not working.
Yeah.
Like even if they balanced it for non-skills, the skills are there.
Yeah.
And intended for you to use in the end game.
Yeah.
So that is a little weird.
Yeah.
It's a little weird.
It's weird. And that came from a patch that fixed an issue and then it broke the Guardian ranks. So.
Every time I hear Guardian ranks or the Guardians now, I'm just thinking like I'm just going into the Crucible.
Oh,
Another broken game that tries to fix itself every season.
Yeah.
Oh man, we used to that. Whew, it's the game that shall not be named. But so you're still playing Borderlands 3. You finished it. Or wait, did you say you finished it?
I finished it. I'm actually on my second campaign playthrough.
Okay.
On what they call True Valhalla mode. So it's like supposed to be harder, plus Mayhem 4 on top of that. So I'm hardcore in the Borderlands.
Glitches and all. I mean that's a testament to how good it is.
Yeah, it's good when it works.
Don't worry, we have a tried and true Vault Hunter here who, even when it doesn't work, is still playing.
Yeah. I play it when the wheels are falling off. So.
Wheels are falling off. Oh man.
And I try to play. Oh yes, we got to have the Apex hour on the podcast.
Man, see, I didn't bring this up. Everyone, Alex, let it be known that I did not bring it up this time. I said nothing about the game Apex, but now we have the Apex hour. So, Apex Legends, what are you up to?
So I picked Apex Legends back up here last weekend. My friend plays religiously. He streams a lot. I watch him, and I said, man, okay, I'm watching it. I'm getting hyped. I'm going to play Apex again. I haven't played Apex since probably July or something.
Okay.
It's been a while.
It's been a while.
So I popped back, and I was hyped on it when it first came out. I never really been 100% sold on the Battle Royale whole thing. But Apex is the most awesome of those type of games.
Right.
So I like it, and I like the characters, like the music, like everything of the game. So I get in the game, and I'm playing the game with my friend, and I'm getting my, handed to me, catching hands all day, and I'm like,
What happens?
And then like you die, you go back in, you die, you go back
That's
in.
what makes it so good.
You die, you go back in.
You can die and come back in. It's almost. I mean, you should be very familiar with this as a vault hunter.
Well. It was a very nice one, Adrian. I have no comeback to that one other than Apex got deleted after Apex got back deleted because I needed to make room for re-downloading the Resident Evil 2 Remake again.
Oh,
which
man.
Resident Evil 2 Remake, really quickly on a side note, it's my game of the year.
I guess you can. Next week, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, next week, Game Awards coming out.
Oh yeah, the Game Awards.
Yeah, Game of the Year nominee. Resident Evil 2 Remake is up there, along with Control, Death Stranding, and.
Man, wait. Hold up. How is Death Stranding gonna be Game of the Year? It just came out.
Well, me and Alex had to talk about that last week.
Oh, okay.
On your way back home, you'll get to hear our thoughts about it. But yes, we have the exact same question. The next Game of the Year nominee is Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. So those are the Game of the Year's nominees. And Sekiro, Shadows Die Twice.
Oh wow!
I had to put all of them together, like the whole name.
Okay.
But yeah. So I don't know how. But Apex.
Yeah.
Apex, it's up for Battle Royale Game of the Year, I think. That and Fortnite and maybe another game somewhere in there. And of course, I think Mirage is also nominated for like Battle Royale player.
Mirage.
I don't know.
I mean, he's cool and everything.
Bamboozle.
He's funny and everything. But I mean, like, so the Battle Royale games of the year, like, there's only like 3 Battle Royale games, like.
Yeah, there's only Fortnite, Apex,
and PUBG.
And PUBG.
So like, really, who are they competing against? Like, there's not a wide field.
I don't know, man. They gotta have. They have so many different weird categories in the Game Awards. But I'm looking forward to seeing them because I'm actually going to be on time. Like, I'll be in this time zone.
Oh, okay.
So I don't have to wake up in the middle of the night or watch a recap.
Okay.
I can watch it live, I can stream because I got internet now. It's going to be good. I'm excited. But yeah, Apex, man, you got to get on the Apex more often. The way is you die a lot to get better.
Yeah. I'm in spectator mode, dog. That's where we at with that Apex right now.
Who did you play? What character did you play?
I play Wraith mainly.
It's because you're playing the best.
It's because you're playing the best
with the highest skill difficulty bar, Pathfinder.
I liked Wraith because I'm a weeb. She's like my anime waifu on the game. So.
Look, I've seen like some. So there's been some really good cosplayers, some really good Wraith cosplayers, and I have to say, like, oh man, you look really attractive. You have a really great costume. Wraith, you're making Wraith look wonderful. Look at the Wraith in game.
Yeah, she
dead eyes. Dead eyes.
Yeah, I don't want to get canceled, but she is she's a bit homely. It's probably an archaic word to use.
But I will say, I don't know if you saw the trailer for her kind of background story.
That was cool.
That was cool. And at that point, I kind of saw Wraith in a more humanized light. I didn't think she was just some dead soul. Dead soul.
To be fair, I did have like the pink Wraith skin with the mask on.
My friend uses that.
She's a lot cuter with the mask on.
Man, that was rough. I mean, my friend, he's a Wraith main, and he does not like any bald-headed Wraiths. I don't know.
I don't like them bald-headed.
He doesn't like the L Wraith.
You can't do that bald head, man.
He just has something about it. I mean, my darling is Watson. I love Watson.
Watson.
Watson's a cutie. I'm sorry. I got
kind of thick too.
She just got jumper suits on, but either way, she's nice.
I don't mean thick in a bad way.
Oh,
you brothers, Watson. Man, you know what thick means, brother.
you say thick, and I just thought Ryza, and I'm like,
Ryza. But that's a whole another level. Rise. I might play that game too.
I've been thinking, so it's on my Steam wish list, and I've got a bunch of different games that I want to stream, that I want to play, and I found that streaming does kind of help me go through my backlog. So maybe hopefully look forward to that in the future. But yeah, the Apex Hour, give a shout out to. I should promote my friend. You know, he plays Apex regularly. We run in a squad together. We've been playing almost the entire year. If you were on Facebook or YouTube, you can look up Sleepy NPC. That's SLEEPY NPC, all caps, at the end. And yeah, just find him. He's a dad. He's playing Apex, and he's a great player. He might not get in as many firefights as Shroud or the pros. He really loves to play, and as a squad, we really love to play tactical.
Okay.
So we try to be the third party and not get third partied, and move in when we need to and play to our advantages and strengths. Because none of us are shooting and killing 20 people a game. So we count for that.
None of us about that life, right?
We ain't about that life. We might play as many hours as them people, but we aren't about that life. Yep. So that's the Apex Hour.
Yep. And that's it. That's all I have, Mr. Adrian.
That was a good podcast.
Yeah.
Thank you for being on this bonus episode. This is the bonus cast, episode number 2. So I would love to keep doing these. These are really nice. And this is the only episode that we've actually done in person.
This is the only episode I've done.
I should have prefaced that with the only episode me and Alex. So me and Alex, we do this over Discord.
Yeah.
And we might as well be like ghost.
Right.
It sounds so lonely, Alex. I'm sorry, man.
You guys should do it in person if you are able to.
We're thinking about trying to do one in person and try to promote the YouTube channel that we have a little bit more. Try to get those subscribers up.
Yeah.
But
you got to Joe Rogan it, man.
We got a Joe Rogan.
Yeah, you got a Joe Rogan.
We got to get on Joe Rogan.
You do. Oh my God.
Get on Joe Rogan.
You're made if you get on Joe Rogan.
Done. Man. Forget just the small pennies we make.
Yeah. You'd be millionaires if you get on Joe Rogan. So, can you imagine?
So the campaign to get on Joe Rogan begins now.
Yes. Everybody tweet that out. # get UGP on Joe Rogan. Tweet that at Joe Rogan.
Tweet that on him. But yeah, it's been a wonderful time. I've enjoyed this podcast, and it's been a good time, like I said. Do you have any place people can follow you or any social media you want to promote?
Not currently. I'm not as cool as you guys. Don't have anything, social going on right now. But I'm working on some things in the background. So maybe next time, if I'm invited back, then
we'll invite you back.
Then I can have something to shill out there to your masses.
There we go. All right.
And thank you, Adrian, for having me in this. It's been pretty cool. Hope I didn't, stink up the podcast too bad. Yeah.
That's the same level of smell as always.
Smell of the podcast.
There you go. This episode. It happened again. Oh, man. Me and Alex were talking about this. Every time we come up with a really good episode name. This episode is the bonus cast, Smell of the Podcast.
There you go. I like it.
There we go. So we did it pretty good. And remember, you can follow us on Twitter at UGP_cast. Leave a like, subscribe to the podcast on iTunes or Spotify. You can also look at us on Anchor. Leave a message on our Anchor page. That's anchor.fm.com/UGPcast. I don't know, but I think you can find us. If you're here already and you're listening, you've already found us. So leave us a message.
Yeah, on Anchor, just search Unknown Games Podcast.
There we go.
Yeah.
We have each other covered.
Yeah.
So remember, until next time, remember, you set the tone, enjoy playing games, and remember the smell of the game. Look that up, everyone. Pay for that song. It's good. Until next